Aloha everybody, I'm Brenna, and in this video I am here to show you a sweet, simple, easy massage you can give to your partner on the bed. I like to start out with a little rocking. Notice I have my hands on the opposite side of the spine. I'm not pushing on the bone, I'm pushing on the muscle on the other side. Just giving some nice rocking motions to the sacrum. It's very soothing to the nervous system to feel that rocking. Add the leg in and the side of the glutes. As you rock the leg, you notice that the back is rocking, the sacrum is rocking, and that all feels really good. Got a fist. Using that, I find just changing up the ways that I'm using my hands really helps preserve my hands. I'm going to get down to the calf and do some nice squeezing. And the finger presses down the foot. And kind of grabbing the heel, pulling that away from the points. A little traction on the leg. Bringing one hand under the foot, the other hand over. My bed is pretty small, so I just can hop off there and do these. If you have a queen or king size bed, it's even nicer. So some nice presses, thumb presses down along the sole of the feet. I just find that by starting out with the feet and just getting them open, I can really start to get the energy moving. And now I skipped the part where I rocked up the other side of the body, but that's what I did. And now we're just doing some nice palm presses. See how I'm just leaning my body weight into the muscles. And in order to get that body weight better, hop right up on the bed. And just think about being a little kitty. Like pressing down, alternating that motion. And just staying really present with your partner and noticing if they flinch or, tighten up, then you might be using too much pressure. So now I like to put a little oil on and just do some nice pulling along the calf, pressing out along the sole of the foot. And these long strokes, we call them effleurage. They feel really nice and integrating. Now I know that my husband loves deep pressure, so I'm just going to go ahead and make the fist. And notice how I'm going pretty slowly. The deeper you are, the slower you want to go with your partner's muscles. And when you do a little deep work, it's nice to just do some flowing strokes after that to make nice. Go ahead and do the other side. So I won't show all of that, but Here we are finishing up the other side of the leg. I like to give those little squeezes at the Achilles. Feels good. And on both sides. Now, if your partner is like most people, they love to have their glutes rubbed and their lower back. And these are some really, really nice strokes you can do for the hips and lower back. See, I'm pulling my hands up the glutes and then up alongside the top of that bone. Up and over by the QL. Just kind of making a butterfly motion. Making a fist, pressing them in towards each other with those glute muscles. So I'm going nice and slow and rotating the wrist, or the whole arm actually, in order to stretch the fascia and the muscles right there on the sacrum. We get so tight in there. And these moves feel really, really good. A little rocking, adding a little bit of motion to it definitely helps. Now I've got my knuckles in there, just doing some shaking. Breaking up some of that tension in there. My husband has butt muscles of steel. He could get an entire hour massage on just his butt. But we move on. Feels really good, those thumb detailing kind of moves on the sacrum and lower back. So notice how I went from one side of the low back to the other. And a little fist right up the muscles that run alongside the spine. They're called the erector muscles. And then some nice squeezes on the traps once you get up there. Have to do that. And just incorporating the hips right after the shoulders. Kind of gives that feeling of integrating the whole body. So yeah, then I'm going down the arms with some nice presses so that the massage itself feels integrated. Now this move, it's a Lomi Lomi move. Lomi Lomi is a Hawaiian massage modality where you go in with your thumbs and then smooth that out. Now, overall, I am probably using my thumbs more in this video than I normally would like. But if you notice, the thumbs, I'm keeping them fairly straight, and what's moving is my arms. So I'm not just moving my thumbs around. The energy behind the motion comes through the arm, through the thumb. Otherwise, yes, your thumbs get very, very sore if you use them too much. Just little. Oh yeah, that feels so nice. You want to put your knees in, basically right on top of the glutes on either side of the sacrum bone. And then just do some nice, deep, slow strips up the back. Grabbing onto the top and pulling back. No. My husband Daniel has no problem putting his hand behind his back, but if your partner is unable to do that, it's not totally necessary. It just does pop out the shoulder blade in a nice way. What you can do instead is just roll up a little towel and place that under the shoulder and bend their elbow a little bit. That will also pop out the shoulder blade, which just, it puts the rhomboids and the superficial muscles like the trapezius, puts that on a little stretch, and when it just helps you out. Basically here, just grabbing the top of his traps, squeezing them in my hand and pulling. There comes a little bit of thumb action, a little thumb press inside along the border of the scapula, the shoulder blade. There's a lot of different muscles that attach in there, so you'll usually find some very tight spots in there. Now, I like to use my thumbs at first, and if you find something or your partner is asking for deeper pressure, you can go in with knuckles, you can go in with your elbow, your forearm. And then this is a nice slow pulling on that muscle along the side, the latissimus dorsi. Just kind of feels good. And then a nice little plowing motion with your fist. I find one of the elements that makes a massage feel good is finding that balance between the breaking it up and smoothing it out. So we do like to go in there and do some frictions, do some points, and things like that. Okay. But we also want to make nice, smooth out, do long strokes that feel really good. And I'm going to go ahead and do Daniel's other shoulder. And we're just pulling on the traps there to start out with. The rest was the same as I did on the other side. So you're just smoothing out all that work, all that point work and frictioning that we did. Smoothing it out down the arms. Here is another lomi lomi move. We are going alongside either side of the spine with between my index and middle finger. So you just place your hand on the back of your partner, and there vertebrae are going to go right in between your first finger and your middle finger. There, I showed my hand motion, but it didn't get in the video. Anyway, then you cover those fingers with your other hand and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle your way down the back. I'll probably make another video in the future kind of explaining some of these moves in a little more detail. Kind of the purpose of this video is just to give you an example of a flow that you can do in not too long of a time on your bed. This is the half-hour tune-up massage. Shaking those arms out. My husband does a lot of carpentry, a lot of landscaping kind of work, and yeah, he gets a lot of tension in his arms, as do most people, whatever their profession is. So that just feels really good. We're gonna go in, add a little bit of oil. One comment about oil is less is more, and so you always want to start a little less, and if you need more, add more. But don't go in with tons of oil. Using my forearm here to kind of plow up the top of my husband's forearm. Some spreading the wrist and the hands, and squeezing the fingers out one by one. Of course, depending on the time that you have, you can repeat any of these moves as many times as you want. Here is a nice opening move for the pec muscles. And placing my palm right into that depression beneath the shoulder, taking his hand in that rocking motion, opening it up. Reaching up and giving the neck and the upper traps just some nice squeezes, and then pulling that energy down the arm, giving the arm a little shaky shake. So repeat on the other side, and coming into the neck. Now if you as a giver need to put your butt up on like a pillow or a couple pillows in order to feel comfortable, do that, and all you'll need to do is just put your partner up on a pillow so that they're easily reached. I know that not everybody has the same amount of flexibility. So yeah, here we're just doing some nice petrissage on the neck, pulling, alternating hands, and then reaching under and kneading the shoulders, the traps. We're just pulling that like taffy. And now I'm getting my arms nice and as far as I can underneath and doing some presses up between the shoulder blades on either side of the spine. We're pressing up, and the heel of my hand is at the base of his skull, and after each press up I'm pulling his skull back. Up and back, up and back, up. And you get into that occipital ridge, which is the very back of the skull, where the back of the skull meets the neck. So many muscle attachments in that area. It feels really, really, really nice to work on that occipital area. In fact, it feels really good just to hold the head. And now I'm going under like I started before when I did the push-ups, and I just did one long, nice drag all the way up, and some circles on the occiput, just like that. Now going in, and I am frictioning or doing tiny circles up along the back of the neck. And turning the head to one side. Doing some nice squeezes. And using my thumb up and then down to stretch out some of those neck muscles. Also using a fist up and down. All these stretching out kind of moves feel really awesome. And then I just go under the neck, do a little kind of rocking and smoothing it all out. Don't forget the ears. The ears are a whole reflexology point. They reflect to the rest of the body. So just like the feet, the ears are wonderful to massage. The head, so relaxing. Alright, now I'm just warming up the leg with a few long strokes. Sometimes those when you move your hands in the opposite direction, like down from the knee and up the thigh, those spreading moves feel really good. And I'm just doing some thumb frictions on the quads and then moving the leg internally or rotating the leg so that I can get alongside to the IT band. That outer edge of the leg. Just hand over hand with your fists. That feels really good. Just using the whole entire surface of your hand to sculpt and just energize and give love to your partner's body is what a good massage is all about. It's not necessary to learn a ton of techniques and stuff like that, but your presence and your love with your partner is really what's going to give them a good experience. And shaking it up. Now, I think I had already done the other leg, and I cut it out of this video, so I'm just finishing with some nice thumb presses, calling it a wrap. Thank you so much for watching.